Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, and in today's videos we're going to be discussing the top 11 tools that you could use in your self-publishing business on Amazon. So without further ado, let's get on into the first tool, which is...
Okay, so the first tool that we're going to talk about is DS Amazon Quick View. So the reason that we include this one is because it's free, so it's completely, like, it doesn't make sense to not use it because you don't even have to pay for it.
Yep.
And it's just honestly a really useful tool. So we're going to go ahead and just show you exactly what it is. So first of all, it is a Chrome extension, so all you have to do is just literally Google DS Amazon Quick View and it'll come up. Obviously this says remove from Chrome here because we've already got it installed, but all you would have to do is press add to Chrome and then you can pretty much immediately start using it on Amazon. So just to really quickly show you what it is.
It's very useful.
So this pretty much works anytime you like type in any book or whatever onto either the search bar or you just go into the categories, but basically you can see here how it has these rankings. So let's just click into a random category. Okay, so you can see here that it has these different numbers as we mentioned. So this is the BSR, and what BSR stands for is just the best sellers rank on Amazon. So basically, this is ranking it against all of the other books, like every single other book. It doesn't matter what niche or genre it is. They all rank together basically, and that's basically what this number is. So out of all however many hundreds of thousands of books there are, or millions of books there are on Amazon.
Millions, yeah.
Yeah, that'll definitely be millions. This one is number 26.
I think there's over 50 million books.
Yeah, there's so many, isn't there?
Most of them aren't doing very well.
But yeah, so basically that's all this really does. It's a very simple and very simple and straightforward tool, but it's a very, very useful tool.
I'm just going to point out quickly, so you'll see here that it says, oh God, I hate when it does that, in Audible books and originals. Here it says Kindle Store, and in here it says books. So there's three different ways that your book can rank in, so three different formats for your book basically. Mm-hmm. You have either paperback, which is books obviously, then you have your ebook, which will be your Kindle Store, and if you change it into an audiobook, which we definitely recommend to do, then it will be in Audible books here. And each one will have a different ranking. So if we just click onto this book here, we can then check out the ranking of paperback. And you can just scroll down. Where is it?
There.
1000 in paperback. And it'll have a different ranking. I'm just going to show you just Kindle. And then on Kindle, it's 307. So it's ranking a little bit better on Kindle compared to your paperback. But just so that you're aware. And as you said, every single book on Amazon will have a ranking
exactly.
in the books, Kindle, and also audiobook store.
Yeah, and obviously we recommend if you're doing nonfiction to be publishing in books. So the one you would probably pay attention to the most is books. But if you obviously want to try to rank for ebooks instead, then obviously you would pay attention to the Kindle one.
And why it's so important is you can actually see how profitable, how much money a particular book is making with that ranking. Definitely. So if we go into our next tool here, leads in quite well. So BookBeam. So this actually tells you how many sales a particular ranking, how many sales a book is making in reference to its ranking that it has on Amazon. So let's just take this one first of all. So Smart Brevity, 448 in books.
Very high rank.
Very high rank, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in 448 here. We're going to choose the marketplace of Amazon.com. And we're going to go to books here. You can't do Audible, but you can do Kindle. But let's just go for 448. So it is, wow, okay, so it's selling between 5,520 and 9,570 every single month. So as you can see, a bestsellers rank of 448 is very, very good. It's selling thousands of copies every month, and it's a very, very profitable book.
Yeah. So
we would use it basically when we're looking for a particular topic, book topic to write about, checking for the profitability of that topic. We can use something like DS Amazon Quick View to check the ranking of that particular book topic, and then look at BookBeam to see if it's going to be profitable or not profitable.
And sorry, just to clarify, BookBeam actually is like a software that does a bunch of other stuff, but we just use it for the Amazon book sales calculator. So how you would get to that is you can either just type in like this link here. We'll have it linked below, but also if you just Google BookBeam sales calculator, you'll be able to find it.
Yeah, we haven't actually checked. Yeah, as you said, we haven't checked out the number of different.
Yeah, it's got a lot of other features, but we've just never personally used them.
Yeah, but if you want to go and check it out, let us know. Be honest, how you found it.
Yeah.
And the next tool we've got is Publisher Rocket. We personally think this is one of the best tools out there for self-publishers publishing on Amazon. We got it probably around a couple of years ago now.
Yeah, it's definitely one of our favorite tools. We use it for every single book that we...
Bit of a game changer.
Yeah.
So what it kind of does, it has 4 different features with it, which it has. It has keywords, competition, categories, and Amazon ads. So one of the main features is the keywords. So what you can do is you can type into the search bar on Publisher Rocket a particular keyword that you have found. And what it actually does, it comes up with a list of other related keywords to that keyword that you typed in, and it gives you search volume every single month, and also gives you a competition score, how easy or hard it would be to actually rank for that particular keyword. So it's super useful. I think what we'll do, actually, we're going to do another whole video just on Publisher Rocket, because it is a really, really good tool. But also competition wise, and that has a screenshot of it here actually. So what you can do is you can pick a particular book, and then it gives you all the competitions book on that on the first page of that particular book, and you can see from here there's lots of results on here, and it just gives you an idea of the competition of your particular book, or a particular book that you're going to try and compete against. Yep. Also category search. So actually one of our other videos that we did recently was how to add your book to 8 additional categories on Amazon. Yeah. And you can do it manually, but we actually use Publisher Rocket to come up with the best categories.
Yeah, it kind of just gives you like a list of all the different ones that are available, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, and it also tells you how many sales per day each category you need to get to the number 1 spot. So it's actually really good if you want to try and get that bestseller tag. It really helps from that point of view. And then finally, it actually helps with Amazon ads as well, because it gives you some potential keywords you can actually rank for, and it just helps with the Amazon ads campaign. So basically, it does loads.
It's very comprehensive.
Very comprehensive. Right, do you want to go on to the next one?
The next one is Keywords Everywhere. So this one is quite a simple tool as well. All it really does is it tells you the sort of search volume for certain keywords. So if you were to go into Amazon and type in, let's just go with like gardening, you can see that it pops up on the side with a number of searches per month for whatever keyword you're typing in. So if we were to change it to outdoor gardening, you could then see what shows up for that, and it just tells you. So like, for example, it says 6,600 per month. So basically the way that you would use this is whatever keywords that you are considering either to target as your niche or to potentially include in your title, you would basically cross-reference with this tool to see if people are actually searching it before either using it as a niche or as a keyword in your title or a book topic. And
it's fairly inexpensive as well.
Yeah, so when you go to pricing, so it's $10, so you have to do $10 minimum. However, that will last you a really long time. So, or I guess credits expire after a year, but you're not gonna, like, it's $10, it's not gonna break the bank necessarily, but it gives you 100,000 credits, and each credit is basically, so going back to Amazon really quickly, so each credit, so like outdoor gardening, so this stat here counts as 1 credit. So like if you have, let's see if we can get multiple things to show up. So like, for example, each one of these would then count as a credit, but it would take a lot to sort of add up to 100,000. So it's relatively cheap, but again, it's a nice, simple, easy tool that you can use. But yeah, so basically it's one of the budget ones if you don't want to spend too much money on having to pay for like Publisher Rocket or any of the other softwares that are out there. It does a decent job of what it's made for. So yeah.
And now on to our next tool that we use is our own template. So before you actually get your book written, or if you're going to write it yourself, a template is absolutely important. It's necessary. An outline is super important to actually structure your thoughts as to what's going to be included in your book. So how we like to do it is we actually created this, but we come up with a table of contents for our book. So you need to decide first of all how many chapters are going to be in your book. We put 8, but it could be 10, it could be 6, it could be 12. So, you want to have a name of your chapter down here, and then to actually help you or your ghostwriter write your book, you can have your each chapter broken down even further to your main points within your book. We put 5 here, but it could be more, it could be less. And then over here is actually your supporting evidence. So this is when you want to include articles, videos, any other evidence to support that main point. So your ghostwriter knows exactly what is to be included and can write your chapter how you want it to be written, basically. And we do the same for all the different chapters down here.
Yeah, it basically just mitigates any confusion. That way, your ghostwriter isn't questioning what they should actually include in your book, or if you're writing it yourself, it just sort of gives you a much more clear layout and makes it much easier to write.
And what we're going to do is we're going to link this template that we use below the video, so you can actually just download that and then use that for free. Okay, so the next tool that we have.
So once you actually do get your manuscripts back from the ghostwriter, I'm not sure if you guys can tell, we're kind of doing this in order of how the actual
your journey
goes.
to write a book.
But basically, once you get the manuscript back, the first thing you want to do is, you're going to have to read it yourself, obviously, just to make sure the content sounds good, but you're also definitely going to want to check it for plagiarism. So this is our personal favorite plagiarism checker. The reason for this is because it uses Turnitin, and you can also upload the whole document, whereas a lot of other plagiarism checkers, you have to do it by sections of 8,000 words, and it's just really tedious to have to cut and paste sections back and forth into the checker. But going back to Turnitin really quick, the reason that we like this is because this is the one that's used with universities and stuff.
Did you use it at university?
I used
it.
Yeah, only here, not in America, but here,
Interesting, yeah.
I'm sure a lot of places do. Maybe it wasn't around when I was at uni in America. But basically, it's a trusted source for plagiarism checking, which is why universities use it. So that's why we like to use it for our books as well. So we know that we're getting an accurate check on plagiarism.
And what sort of levels are you looking at in terms of plagiarism checks?
So I would say definitely under 20%. Sometimes you can get anywhere sort of up to 20% of things that it picks up on that are not actually plagiarized, but there's only so many ways that you can say a certain phrase or something like that.
So you're not aiming for 0%. If there's a little bit that comes up.
Yeah, obviously the less the better, and you do want to aim for as little as possible, but you will have cases where you are getting a certain percentage, as well as if you're purposely including quotes and stuff in your book of other things, then it'll count that as plagiarized. But as long as that's obviously cited in the book, then it obviously doesn't actually count as plagiarism. So you just have to obviously be careful with how you're citing things within your book, and you should be okay. But
we would say that it's very important to use this or a tool like this, because imagine if you have written your book or someone's written it for you, then you publish it to Amazon, and then it comes back at 30%, 40% plagiarized. Amazon won't allow it to be published. They have their own plagiarism checks, which they'll run. And if they know that you have plagiarized it, they'll take it down and probably even shut your account down, because they're very strict on plagiarism and copyright infringements. You don't want that,
because then all of your hard work will just be thrown out the drain for nothing.
So this is a very important tool, maybe even the most important. And then do you want to explain this one as well, the Outright?
So Outright is similar. You probably have heard of Grammarly before. Outright is pretty much the same exact thing. You basically upload your document, and it will give you suggestions for any sentence structure that can be fixed, or obviously spelling and grammar mistakes as well. But it basically just helps give you an extra eye after you've read it through and corrected any obvious errors. This kind of does another sweep through and will get anything that you missed. Generally, to be honest, we actually run it through this twice. If you're editing yourself, it's kind of a long process, but it has to be done, because if you have any mistakes in your book and that ends up in your book on Amazon published, people will notice. People will notice, and you can get bad reviews, and it's not good for your book or the sales. So important.
We're aiming for a professional looking book, and making sure it's edited correctly with no grammar or spelling mistakes is really important. So definitely do one of these. Use one of these tools. So you can use Outright, Hemingway, Grammarly, anything like that.
So really quickly, we've just loaded a quick document to show you sort of what it does. So as you can see over here on the left, it's done this check. So it says there's no spelling errors. That's what the little check mark means. And then there's 2 grammar errors. So if you click on it, it will take you down to it, to where it is. And then it gives you style and structure recommendations as well. But basically, as I said, if you know what Grammarly is, it's pretty much the same thing, and you just have to go through and fix whatever it's telling you to fix.
And then our next two tools are Vellum and Atticus, two very similar tools. They actually do the same thing. Atticus is for $147, and then Vellum is, I think, for $250. What they do is actually they format your book. So having a good formatted book is really important in publishing, especially self-publishing as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's actually the layout of the book, how it looks, how it's presented to your reader. If it's, put together in a scrappy Word document and then banged into a book,
you'll be able to tell.
You'll be able to tell, and when your reader picks it up, it just won't look professional, and that's what we're aiming for. So as you can see, this is what it does. So you can customize your interior to actually look neat and professional, basically.
And it has different styles, so you can fit it to, like, if you're doing a fiction book or something and you want it to be like romance, it'll have, like, you can actually see here, like, this one's kind of like a nice swirly font, or just if you want it to be like straight for a non-fiction, like, scientific type book, it has styles for that as well.
And essentially you load up your document, you load up your Word document, and then you can adjust it and go through each chapter by chapter to make sure that each page is looking how you want it to look, basically.
Yeah, and the only caveat with Vellum is that Vellum you can only use if you have a Mac. They haven't made a PC version yet, unfortunately, which is why we've also included Atticus, because obviously not everybody is going to have a Mac. But if you don't have a Mac, Atticus is just as good of a formatting software.
And obviously both of these come at a cost $147 and $250. You can do it for free in Microsoft Word and Google Docs. We'll be honest, we personally haven't used that before, but we have seen on YouTube people being able to format their book through Google Docs and through Microsoft Word, but we're not too sure how you actually do that.
Yeah, to be honest, I think that's something we also kind of, if you can't afford one of these softwares and it's within your budget, then definitely just go for it, because your book will be so much better for it. So obviously if you can, just do it, because sometimes doing it in like Word document won't necessarily look as nice. It will work, but you obviously want it to be the best that it can be in order to sell as much as it can. So
and also if you're actually wanting to be serious about building a self-publishing brand
and a long-term business as well, not just a
and release more than just one book, then it's going to be an absolute steal. $150
for a lifetime.
Imagine 10 books, it's only $15 per book. So
exactly.
It's probably worth making the investment if you can.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, and then finally we're on to Canva and Puppy. So Canva, take it away.
Canva is like a self-design, like a DIY design website, basically. And this is something that you can use to create your own covers for your books.
Do you love Canva?
I do love Canva.
He absolutely loves it.
Chris always makes fun of me because I think it's such a great tool. But basically, if you wanted to create your own cover and you felt like you had an artistic enough eye for it, you could do it. Otherwise, obviously, a cover is something that a lot of people just get outsourced, if it's within your budget as well. But if it's absolutely not within your budget to get it outsourced, Canva is probably one of the best places that you can go to get it, or to do it yourself. And the reason for that is because you can...
So easy to use, isn't it?
Yeah, so if you just create like a book cover, and then you can obviously make this to be whatever size your actual book is. So if you're doing a 5x8 or a 6x9, just make sure that you actually pay attention to those dimensions. But point being here, on the left, you have all these different templates, and this is what makes it so easy. So basically, if you have a book, for example, like a business book, this is quite a cool sort of template that it's given. You're not just going to leave it exactly the same. You're going to change obviously the title and the subtitle and everything to fit your book. And then you obviously might want to change the image here in the middle to something that's more relevant to your book. And you would just do that by clicking on photos, and you can search for whatever it is that you are obviously writing about. But point being, hopefully you get the idea. You're not going to leave it exactly the same. You just want it to be sort of like a guide. But this is why Canva is so great, is because even if you have no artistic skills, you can pretty much come in, choose a template, and for the most part make it fit to the book that you're trying to create it for. Again, not necessarily that we don't recommend it, but if you can't afford to get a book cover actually made for you, it'll usually be really good quality and better in the long term.
Unless you're great at art.
Unless you obviously are, like, if you have like a degree in graphic design or you've taken courses on it, then obviously by all means.
Yeah. But your book cover is so important. It needs to be standout. It needs to be very eye-catching. So that's Canva. Yep. And then finally, Puppy. So this is an excellent website for self-publishers to actually get lots of early reviews. So big publishers, big publishing companies, they have a huge exhaustive list of reviewers, early readers, early reviewers to get early reviews on their books or their clients' books. For self-publishers, it's a bit more of a grind, so we need to actually work to try and get reviews. And there's lots of ways you can do this, and one of these ways is Puppy. So essentially what you do, it's a subscription service. I think we pay around $20 per month. We paid in a yearly subscription. I think otherwise it's actually $24.99 a month. But you can pay $20 a month, and you upload your book or multiple books. That's actually for unlimited books.
Yeah, and actually, if you're just starting out, just really quickly, if you're just starting out, it's actually cheaper than that. So I think it's only like, I think the cheapest is like $8 or something.
Sorry,
if you only need up to, so when you're just starting out, it's actually not bad to just pay $8 a month for your 1 to like 4 books or something like that.
Yes.
And then obviously once you have more than 4 books, you'll have to upgrade. But by then you'll be probably earning more money, and it won't really make a difference. But yeah, just continue.
That's a very
just
good
wanted
point.
to point that out.
That's a very good point. So essentially what you do is you upload your book, your manuscript, and the cover, and then it's basically available for other people, other self-publishers to actually read and then review. They have a system where they actually don't allow you to review swap, which is obviously very good because Amazon doesn't like review swaps. If you review someone's book and they review your book, Amazon will flag that, and they will potentially take your book.
Trouble. They'll definitely take the review down and potentially do more.
Yeah, exactly. But they have an algorithm in place where if you review John's book, John cannot review your book. He can only review other people's books.
Exactly.
So it keeps you very safe from that point of view. And as they say here, you can get 5 to 10 reviews every week for your books. And that's actually very truthful. I think, to be honest,
Yeah, it's a good estimate.
10's at the upper end, but definitely 5 reviews every single week.
And that adds up really quickly.
And if you think about it, 52 times 5 at the low end, that is
250 something.
260, 270, quick maths, 270 reviews on your book every year.
Yeah.
If you do that for 2 or 3 years, your book's going to have so many reviews, plus the organic reviews. So Puppy is,
great tool,
a great tool.
I think that pretty much wraps up our 11
pretty
tools.
much wraps up. I think what we're going to do, as we said for Publish Rocket, I think we're going to do a deeper dive on a lot of the tools that we just discussed. But as a brief overview, they're the 11 tools that we have used at some stage in our publishing career.
Yeah, we'll have everything linked in the description so you can go check them out yourself.
Yeah.
But
hopefully makes sense.
Yeah, and hopefully those will be helpful to you in your publishing career.
And we'll see you in the next video, guys.
Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh yeah, do that. Yeah.
And let us know in the comments if there's any questions that you have about any of the tools or anything that you want us to talk about in future videos.
Awesome. See you then, guys. Bye-bye.